I could get introduced to every one of my coaching sessions. My walkout song would probably be Beast Mode by B.O.B. One, because it's a little ode to the greatest running back out there, Marshawn Lynch, big Seattle guy. Two, because I just think it's a good pump-up song. It gets me going. It's definitely my go-to song if I'm trying to get amped up before a workout. I decided to get into the coaching field, I think, because growing up, I was fortunate having great coaches in my life, from my dad to my high school football and basketball coach to Coach Van Diest at Carroll. And it had such a big impact on me that, first off, I was a first-generation college graduate, so I still think that the thing that got me there was all the work I put into the weight room. I worked harder than everybody else could because I wanted to go to college. I wanted to play professional sports. I wanted to, get a scholarship. So I think me wanting to give that back to other athletes and also adults in general, just having a goal and accomplishing it and understanding the sacrifice you have to make to get to that spot is what excites me every day. If I wasn't in this strength and conditioning field, I would probably move my wife and my 3 dogs out to a small fishing cabin, and I would just be a fish bum. I'm not sure how I would make money. I would probably try to tie flies and sell them, and I don't know how that would go for me, but I'd definitely give it a shot. My top 3 movies of all time. Number 1 would have to be A River Runs Through It. Number 2, a little different, White Men Can't Jump. And number 3, I would have to go with Forrest Gump. I think the thing I love the most about coaching is interacting with people, whether it be a middle school athlete all the way up to a professional athlete, and then adults as well. Everybody comes from different walks of life and different struggles, and everybody has different goals, and they have different thought process for how they can attain those goals. And I love being able to relate to people and kind of guide them through the process rather than give them the answer. I just love helping people find their own way when it comes to fitness and the strength and conditioning world. I was born right on the border of Helena and East Helena, 227 guy all the way. If I could meet anybody dead or alive, I would probably, it'd be tough. I would say it's either between Barry Sanders, who I believe is still alive, and then Walter Payton. I was a running back growing up, so I always admired those guys. Just to kind of pick their brain and sit down and watch film with them and ask them, what their thought process was or how they prepared or where they came up with that move. I would say it'd have to be one of those 2 guys. If I had to eat the same thing every single day, it would probably be something simple like peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Creamy, not crunchy. It's just, you can never get sick of that. One thing not a lot of people know about me other than probably my mom and my family and maybe my wife is I used to have a rat tail growing up. I had a little slick back. I was in love with, well, I guess in love is not the right word. I loved Jean-Claude Van Damme. I used to want to be Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I think that's where I got my style when I was a little kid. My first car was a 1989 GMC Sierra pickup truck. It was my grandpa's old truck. I was in high school. I got into trying to soup it up, so I had the window cowls on it. I had the hood scoops and as much chrome I could put on there, but that was definitely my first car. My favorite sports team is definitely the Seattle Seahawks. My first pet's name was Kemp. He was a golden retriever. He was named Kemp after Sean Kemp, the greatest dunker of all time. The person that I look up to the most in my life is definitely my dad. When I was younger, he was a coach of mine for a couple of years, and he just kind of taught me that to be humble and to work hard, and anything that you want, you have to work hard for it. Nobody's going to hand you anything. He was always encouraging. When I'd have a good game, he'd be encouraging me. When I'd have a bad game, he'd build me up, but he also wouldn't let me get cocky, if I had a great game. So he just kind of kept me humble, and he taught me how to fly fish. So, that's the coolest skill that I've learned, and I'll take that with me forever.
Who is better at fly fishing between you or Dane?
Oh, I'm definitely a better fly fisher than Dane. He's still got a lot of years to get under his belt if he ever wants to catch up to me. Yeah, I have my bad days, definitely have days where I net all of his fish. But you know, when you look at numbers of fish caught over the years, he's got a long ways to go to catch up to me.